Hi everyone, welcome to my A-level biology lecture series. In this lesson, we will explore epistasis and the pattern of inheritance due to epistasis. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to interpret and construct genetic diagram, including Punnett square, to explain and predict the result of dihybrid crosses that involve epistasis. Let's get started. So what is meant by epistasis? Epistasis occurs when the expression of one gene is affected or masked by another gene at the different gene locus, and these two genes, they are located on two separate or two different chromosomes. So in Labrador retrieval, coat color or fur color is determined by the interaction of two genes. Gene number 1, which is the gene B, determine the type of pigment produced. So we have the dominant allele B code for the black pigment and recessive B code for the brown pigment. However, there is another gene known as gene number 2 or gene E control whether the pigment black color or the pigment brown color is deposited in the fur or not. So dominant allele E results in the pigment deposition, which is a dominant allele. 2 copy of recessive allele will result in the no pigment deposition. So therefore, regardless of what is the color pigment, black or brown, the color of the fur will be yellow. So based on the inheritance pattern and the interaction between two genes, now let us try to guess or find out what is the possible genotype for a black color code. So for black color code, at least the dog or the retrieval must have at least one dominant allele B to make sure that it produces the black pigment, and must have at least one dominant allele E to make sure that this pigment can be deposited. For the brown color fur, the dog or the retrieval must have or must be homozygous recessive for gene B, where they produce brown color, and the dog must have their dominant allele, at least one copy, dominant E allele, to make sure that this brown color can be deposited. For yellow retrieval, you can see that regardless of what types of the allele they have for the gene B, but for E, they must have 2 copies of recessive allele or homozygous recessive. So the E gene is epistatic in this case because it masks the expression of B gene, where the genotype is recessive or homozygous recessive E. So this is an example of recessive epistasis, where the homozygous recessive genotype 2 copy of recessive allele E prevents the expressions of allele at another locus. Okay? So basically the effect of the gene B is masked in this case. So when 2 heterozygous black Labrador retrieval are crossed, their offspring exhibits 9:3:4 phenotypic ratio due to the recessive epistasis, no longer 9:3:3:1, even though this is a dihybrid cross. So we can see that 2 black Labrador retrieval parents with black fur, heterozygous for both gene loci, managed to produce 4 different types of gametes with different combination of allele due to the independent assortments that take place during metaphase 1. Let us look at what are the possible outcomes here. So you can see that out of 16 possible combinations, we can see that out of 16, 9 of them will be black dots, and then 3 of them will be brown, and also 4 will be yellow. This is a typical ratio 9:3:4 for the epistasis. So let us look at the phenotypic ratio. So black fur to brown fur to yellow fur equal to 9:3 to 4 in terms of the phenotypic ratio, no longer 9 to 3 to 1, that according to the prediction from the Mendel. And with that, we have come to the end of this lesson. Hope you found it helpful and easy to follow. If you have any question, feel free to drop them in the comment section. See you in the next lesson. Have a great day.